So I just seen this hawk right here. I don't know if you guys can pick it out. Just thought that was pretty cool. He must be injured. He's not really moving a lot. Who knows? Definitely not acting normal. So what Justin's doing right now is we're getting ready to set up our camp. We're going to set up a plow point right here. And the ground's fairly unlevel, has a lot of dips in it. So he's going through and leveling it out as best he can. Because if we start out with the level ground, before we start putting down an insulation barrier, it'll just make it a lot easier to set up camp. So
head facing up, you slide down. Head facing down, you wake up with a headache.
Exactly.
How's it look from back there?
It's looking pretty good. I think you did a good job.
Need to go any more?
You know, I think it looks fairly decent. Especially once we get some insulation put down. Should be really good. Should have seen it before we started. It looked a lot more like that pile because we moved that old pile. So that'd make a good ridge pull right there.
I think that's what it's going to be, don't you?
Yeah. Nicely done there. Well guys, you know I talk about all the time about how I had that accident with my axe. So I always want to use it, but there's always a safety factor in using an axe. It's just like a knife though, but it's just an extended weight, you know, that you can't stop once you get the swinging going. It just kind of goes through it. So I'm going to show you one way that, well, I'm going to do this here, that's a safer way to clean branches on a limb. Hang tight. So we're going to use this as a ridge pull in our plow point. And one way to do a little bit safer to clear branches off is to swing behind you like such. So there's nowhere for that axe to go anywhere near where you are. I know most people know this, and that it's basic, simple stuff. And I'm swinging on the outside of the branch too. But I figured a lot of the stuff I don't think about sharing because I just feel like it's common knowledge. But some of the newer people may not have thought of it. So anyway, I'm going to finish cleaning this up and get back with you. So my camera's fogging up, so sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, it's freezing rain, kind of. Some of it's coming down as water, some of it's coming down freezing at this moment. So we're out here collecting grass, and let's see what we're doing. Justin's over there shooting a video right now. But we're filling up this tarp. We're going to bind it up and show you that here after a bit. Can't show all this stuff because it just don't want to get the camera equipment wet. It's getting kind of, you know, expensive to replace these things. But I'll show you real fast what we're doing and how we're collecting it so you can get an idea. Hang tight. Here's Justin collecting some. This is how we're doing it, guys. Just grab you a bundle, jerk it, get in there and get after it. Obviously you don't want to work so hard that you're sweating. If that's the case, then you want to take layers off. Hope you guys can hear any of that. I may have muffled that. But he's just making a stack there, and then we'll carry it back to the tarp so we can bundle it up in there. Let me get that done, and we'll get back with you. Okay, so he's knocking the snow off. I'm sure you just seen that. Or the ice, actually. It's not really snow. What do you think, sir? There's plenty of depth as far as insulation. I mean, we're easily a foot of insulation. Does it look comfortable enough for 2 people now? Come on.
That's gonna be
I think we're gonna be spooning.
I think as long as we lay this way somehow,
yeah,
there's enough room, at least for our core, you know?
Yeah. Wow. You look comfortable. Check out all this ice. That's awesome.
Southwest vortex, right?
There you go. Your jacket's covered in it. Alright, let's get this thing hauled back. Alright guys, that bundle that we collected a little while ago, here it is in the shelter. And we have just realized this is not going to work. Sometimes you do stuff and you think it's going to work. It's an excellent idea. But then you realize there's absolutely no room in here, and I'll show you. I'm just laying here, and for both of us to be in here, I mean, the shelter half is stopped right here. I mean, literally, boom. So, not really practical. The room, there's no head space in here now. I'll show you what we did when we built this mattress real fast. We took the bank line and just tied up each grommet hole. No fancy knots or nothing, just hurry up, get it done, because burning daylight. This took a lot of time to collect all this grass. We're not going to waste it. We're going to go ahead and unzip or cut all these ties and go through and cover the floor in here best we can and see how it works out then. I'll get back with you. Alright guys, so you can see now it's been sleeting or freezing rain, combination of the two here lately. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but all that on the tarp there was water that came down and then froze onto my silnai, and then down there that's crystals that have actually went ahead and froze right before it hit the ground. But what you're also looking at is we went ahead and set up a really crude shelter really fast because we just don't have time to be playing around at the moment. Just for our gear. It's just for our gear, so it's not a big deal. Because we want to save some room for our shelter for us at the moment, at least while we're working in there. And of course, some of the gear will end up in the shelter with us, but not a lot of it. Kind of helps out to have the secondary one there. Okay, so I think we may have enough debris in there now. That way we stay warm. Do you think you're warm in there, Justin?
I'm stuck. Get out of this.
Oh man.
It's very warm.
I bet it actually isn't bad in there right now, huh?
Take care of the fire. I'm going to bed.
All right. Good night.
It's actually way noticeable how, I mean, there's a big climate difference in here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not bad at all in here right now. We get all this settled in, get a fire, be nice, be real nice.
Will you make my side nice and soft? So while Justin's in there making our bed, we got so much grass right now. I think we did a pretty good job collecting that, but he's in there. We added an addition onto it with just my nasty old ground tarp. You can see the camouflage versus the canvas tarp. Just came to the realization that it wasn't going to be big enough for 2 of us. I mean, I'm sure we could have made it work out, but yeah, we're gonna be comfortable tonight.
It would have worked. It just would have been cramped.
Yeah.
And there's really no sense in us being cramped if we have the means to make it bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking good in there. We got it all fluffed in there pretty good. You kind of see how thick it kind of is. That addition helped so much. It just really added, and it really is not a lot of extra space. It's only a few more feet, and it added quite a bit to what we had. Definitely going to help out with the driving rain, snow, sleet stuff. Definitely trying to block my camera with my hat and stuff so it doesn't get all wet. But do you mind jumping in there real fast just so I can see what it kind of looks like? Or I guess I could do that.
Just cuddling with my axe.
Ah. You look cozy, that's for sure.
It is cozy.
You definitely can tell a difference when you get in there versus out here. I mean, you're not conducting the cold off the ground from just sitting on it.
You got a nice psychological advantage in here.
Absolutely. The wind is blocked. It's not breezy. The air is so humid right now, or so much moisture in the air. It's different than when it's so cold out and it's a dry snow, you know, coming down. This is a wet, you know, like I said earlier, it's not all ice coming down. Some of it's watery ice. Well, we're going to go ahead and collect wood because time's running short. This shelter right now, as it is, sits. Finding it, collecting the grass. This has been, what, 4 hours?
Yeah.
It's been 4 hours. And we've got 3 to 3.5 hours to collect wood. So we need to hurry up and get on it. So guys, as you can see right here, we've obviously got a lot of wood here, but the downside to it is it's all softwood, and most of it has been laying down, and some of it is slightly soft or rotten. But we've got a lot of dead standing here, so there's not going to be any moisture really per se soaked into that. Really hasn't rained a lot until today, so not a huge big deal. But we're going to go ahead and collect some of this bigger wood, stick to the side, and this smaller wood we're going to save for just when we're chatting around camp so we can keep feeding the fire. And like Justin was saying earlier, use this bigger wood for when we're going to sleep. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I was saying earlier that it was partly water. My tarp is froze now. I mean, it's all if I was worried about this tarp, obviously I wouldn't be slapping it with a stick like that, but this, like I said, this is my ground tarp, so I'm not worried about it. But out of all honesty, that shedded layer that froze over top of that would create a barrier, a moisture barrier per se, encapsulate it. But I'll show you the wood pile we got going on so far. I ain't got a lot collected, but we don't build huge fires usually. So I'll show you what we got going on. This is, you can see the camouflage tarp still there. This is our little stack here that we got going on. It's, you know, probably 3 foot wide by 2 foot tall-ish and 3 feet long at least. There to the other side of it, we've got kind of a reflective wall. It's not a lot of one, not a big one. And then over there, we've got, they're not going to end up being overnighter logs, but they're definitely our bigger stock. We collected all that first, and I'll show you what got going on over here, cutting the wood up. So as you can see, this isn't even a fork tree. This is 2 trees just standing together, and all the wood goes in there. But this is what he's doing here. Hey Justin, if you take that wood there and just turn it around and do the big side first, it actually gives you a lever to break it up so you don't end up with one huge long piece when you get to the end, because it's
so
thicker.
So the fat end isn't so stumpy, and you have a little bit of leverage to break that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. I've never really paid attention to that. I've always just kind of stuck it in and broke it. Good thinking.
So we're just breaking them off. You should have seen the pile we had down there just a minute ago. But this is way faster and way more productive, less energy, snapping the wood, like especially that one right there, than it is to saw it or chop it or cut it, you know. Just, you gotta save calories. This will keep you from sweating so much, you know. Running an axe and a saw, like I said earlier, it's a lot of work, and when you sweat, then this kind of cold environment.
Save yourself injuries too. You know, people crack them over their knee and their shins and stuff. Which I'm guilty of that too. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I get the right piece of wood in my hand, I always do that.
Yeah, I do.
But every time I do it, I think to myself, man, you know, one of these days I'm gonna hurt myself doing that. You know?
Absolutely. Or you jab one of those little nubs sticking out in your leg, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, the area that we go to where it's just nothing but hedge.
Hedge, yeah. You don't want
thorns.
to. Yeah, that's horrible. Those thorns are bad. You should see all this ice on my camera. This isn't gonna be good. Golly. My hat isn't even frozen. I don't know if it will come in, but this is my wool hat. You know, I just got this hoodie on to help protect it, you know, hold in the heat too. And it folds I've got these ear flaps for it, so that covers my ears, plus the sides of the hat. I ain't worried about bending this thing up. This is a bush hat, you know. So it kind of comes down and creates a little microclimate, but it's all frozen up here. I just cracked it just a minute ago. So it kind of keeps the rain off of my face. So guys, it looks like a winter wonderland down here. And of course it looks like snow, but this is actually just a freezing rain coming down, like I said earlier. Very beautiful. This is why I get out. I highly enjoy it. I really can't say enough about it. Definitely, if you come out and do something like this, you want to be safe. Me and Justin are working in conjunction with each other, which a partner is always best in case something happens. I mean, who knows? When I go down and collect water, I slip on this ice and fall in. He could help me out. Can't say enough about a partner. It's a lot of ums, huh? But beautiful. The river hasn't froze over yet. To be honest with you, I can't even see what I'm filming anymore because the ice on the camera out here. Yeah. I wouldn't miss this if I had to. It's beautiful. I can tell you that's cold. Alright guys, one thing I want to point out is, in my opinion, this is probably worse than when it is when it's colder outside. When the snow is actually a dry snow, you know, coming down. It's all wet. You know, these things, even on my body, are frozen ice. So if you don't have a waterproof barrier, you're going to be in trouble. And this is what we deal with in Kansas a lot. It's because the temperatures always fluctuate, at least in the cold months, pretty close to the freezing / non-freezing. So we get a lot of this freezing rain. So when it gets on you, it freezes. Or like today is a lot of it's, some of it's, you know, freezing before it hits the ground. But got to keep covered up. All right, so we're gonna have a flint steel challenge here. Not, you know, just a playful one, nothing big. But whoever gets it blown into flame first wins.
Except I'd like to point out that Travis is cheating with char cloth. And I'm going to use charred punkwood. So he's going to do his on this rock, and I'm going to do mine in the tin. You ready?
Set.
Go. Ah, you beat me.
You'll probably beat me blowing it into flame. I'm nervous as that.
Ah, it's not taking. Ah, my punkwood ain't taking, Travis. Ah, you got me. You get it? Travis beat me. Damn cheating char cloth.
Hey, we can do a redo. I'm totally fine with it.
No, that's part of it.
Oh my God, that's hot.
Part of it.
All right.
Get your wood on there.
Wow, it's not. Now we're getting smoked out. Oh man, I'll totally screw this up. Hey, sorry if you're getting smoked out. This is all wet. My thing is going out. You have to do it again, I bet. So guys, man, this weather's really kicking our butts right now. To be honest with you, that fire just, we're having a little trouble with it at the moment right now, but I got some fat wood in the mail from Haas. I want to say thank you very much for it. I'm going to go ahead and make some shavings and we're going to get this fire done. We ain't going to be playing around no more. Is this, what'd you say, Skookum Bushcraft?
Skookum Bush Tool.
Skookum Bush Tool. Get to see for the first time. This is my first time to play with it. Wow. I'm going to make a little bundle here. We'll get back. Alright, so I ain't gonna lie, that took some doings right there. Thanks, Haas, for the fat wood. You are the one that provided the fire tonight, pretty much. I wanted to show you, I'll turn the camera around here a little bit and show you what the temp was in here just a second ago. And like I said, this fire just started, so it should only get warmer from now. Alright, I don't know if you can read that, but it was 31 in here just a second ago, and it's now jumped to 39 degrees. So you know how we've met a lot of people out there on YouTube?
Yeah.
And I've got the pleasure to actually literally meet some of the people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great people out there. Whew, it's getting smoky in here. But it's just like those gloves you got there. Do you love those gloves or what?
Oh, these gloves are great.
They're awesome, aren't they? Well, yeah, I'm sorry, but I had to get me a pair too. Because they cover your fingers so much more. I met the individual that you got those gloves from just the other day.
Oh, are you serious?
I did. I got to go actually meet him, and he's an awesome gentleman. Actually, I want to take you up there one day because the town he lives in is very historic.
Yeah.
And it would just be fun just to drive around with him and listen to him talk. But man, these things rock. These things are awesome.
Oh, I know. I've been using them all day. They're
Yeah.
kind of they're frayed out and opened up now, and just really, I don't know. They've been wet today, and my hands are still warm.
Yep.
Love them. So, I mean, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I mean, I'm definitely going to send you a little thank you in the mail, that's for sure. Love these things.
So you're holding your feet by the fire right there. Are they cold or what?
Yeah, they're getting a little chilly.
Well, the individual I met wanted to give you these.
What?
Yeah. Open it up. Check it out. You're not going to believe it.
Oh, the smoke.
I know, right? All the wet wood.
No way.
Yeah. He heard you say in one of your comments somewhere that your feet get cold easily.
Awesome.
So he wanted to send you a matching pair of socks to go with your gloves.
That is so freaking cool. Ah, man, Greg, you're the best.
You know, I didn't know if I was going to have time to go up there and meet him, but I went ahead and took the time and drove up there. And I got to say, he's a very stand-up guy, a very nice individual. He highly appreciates the videos that we put out together, the information that we share. And I appreciate this, I really do.
Man, that is awesome. I would look at the camera right now, but I can't. The smoke is killing me. But, man, that really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I tell you what, people blow me away.
They do. Well, we gotta tend to this fire a little bit. It's a little smoky. Alright guys, the lighting's gonna suck. Got some portobello mushrooms. The big cap ones. Just cutting them up and sticking them in a little bit of butter in the frying pan. Cooking those up for tonight. It's so cold out, I just brought the whole stick of butter. Tasting pretty good. I got some boudin or boudin, I can't even say it, right now going in the, I put it in a little bit of water inside my MSR Seagull pot. And then once these mushrooms get done, then we're going to stick some steaks on. Should be eating pretty good tonight. Hey everybody. I want to thank Larry Roberts for getting me some chaga. Getting ready to make me some chaga tea here in just a second. I'm going to get this all done up and put it into my tea ball. I got the water right now getting ready to get it to boil, and then I'll take it off and let it steep. I just shaved off a little bit. Add it to this here. So the shelter right now has gotten up to 76 degrees, at least at about head height in the shelter. Of course, the lower it is in the shelter, the colder it gets. But we got us a long fire going, and I can tell you, once I get snuggled in, I ain't getting back up to feed that sucker. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not going to, but pretty good chance I'm not. I should pop out some good coals. But Justin's all getting snuggled up for his MS sleep system, and I'm going to use my wool blanket, and in conjunction with Justin's wool blankets, we're sharing. So the weight of the snow, I don't know if you can see that out there, but there is about a foot of snow at the base of that shelter there. One thing to note with this canvas tarp that I've never seen anybody point out before is it's wicking water through it from the heat, melting the ice, and it's dripping. So that's adding an element of surprise. I don't know if you can see the amount of snow coming down, but it's coming in the shelter easily a few feet at times, depending on the wind. So Other than that, we are having a good time. Got a muddy mess in front of the shelter here, like always happens when it's some kind of moisture in a fire. But should be good. Guess I'll talk to you guys in the morning, or if something else comes up. Because the shelter right now is sagging under the weight of the snow. And that's why I put in this ridge pole originally, to help with that, the snow load. So, talk to you guys later. Good morning, everybody. It's morning now, obviously. But getting up and around, and there's plenty of snow out now. I mean, from what it was. I'll take you around and show you. So, as you can see here, the shelter basically got covered in snow. I mean, the base of the shelter is way back here, and way up there is covered with snow. So it snowed quite good. And last night, of course, we had the fire going. You can probably see it there going now. We woke up this morning, there wasn't even a coal left. We just let it die out. It didn't even last 2 hours. We knew that the wood wasn't going to last very long, so we had just decided to let it go. We weren't going to keep getting up every 2 hours to feed it. And stayed quite warm, honestly. I know some of you guys on the group were mentioning spooning, and yes, we were pretty much spooning. To a certain degree, at least. The shelters, started to kind of sag because of the weight of all the snow. And I'll turn the camera around here just a second to show you our just halfway thrown together shelter with the silnai, so you can see how badly the weight of the ice and the snow has done to make it sag. This ridge line was very tight when we set this up, and of course the paracord had to stretch to accommodate for it, so hold tight. Well, here it is. I don't know if you can see. Right up there's where it's attached, and it's just drooped way down. It's pretty much collapsed. I can tell you that ice is not your friend, as you may already know. I'll show you from the side how crunched in there it is. I mean, there's almost no room left. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but this side on the left side is almost vertical, almost literally vertical. The other side that the snow wasn't and the rain wasn't hitting as good is not sagging as bad as the other side. Thermometer right now says 23 degrees. It says it got down to 16. I'll get you closer so you guys can see that. Actually, here it is. So that's here. I'll show you the thermometer inside the shelter. It got really warm at one point in time, and I'll be honest with you, Justin used the MS Sleep system for the night, and he gave me his 2 wool blankets. I laid one down underneath me. I used my normal wool blanket and threw the other one kind of on my side, and there was points in the night where I was sweating. So here's the thermometer hanging here. It's head height. See if I can get it off of here. Show you guys. Right now it is 50 degrees in here. I don't know if you can read that bottom number there, but it got up to 76, and the other one says 22 is how cold it got in the shelter last night. And we stayed pretty warm. I want to share with you guys how neat this is. Got the fresh snow, so there wasn't any snow here yesterday, and there are tracks right here. You can actually point out that this is the actual like canine tracks per se. You can actually see the pads on it right there. But what I want to show you is how close it is to camp. To let you know that these animals do walk around you. I don't know if you can pick it out there because of the color difference, but there's the silnai and there's our canvas tarp. And always the great Mr. Wolf. Check out that. Isn't that a beautiful morning? I'm not sure you guys can see it, and I hate zooming, but the trees way down there have all iced over. Out the other end there. I love it. This is the part that nobody ever talks about when you camp out and this kind of stuff, is having to try to chip off the ice, snow off your stuff. And when you go to pack it all up, some of your stuff is going to be wet. You just can't help it. Bust this stuff off here. Dig out your shelter. Get this all done. Get packed up. But there's our straw or grass bed mat that we made. Worked out pretty good. Definitely insulated us from the ground. So guys, just packing up. We're ready to head out. Definitely was a fun trip. Learned some new stuff on this trip, like I always do. Always learn something. If you're not learning, you're not doing it. So, anyways, had a great time with Justin. This is our bedding area down here. Don't know if you can much see it, but thanks for coming along.